In the quiet streets of Manchester, where cobblestone paths whispered stories of hardship and hope, Emma Wilson stood by her kitchen window, watching the grey morning unfold. Her life had become a delicate dance of survival since her husband's unexpected passing 2 years ago. At 35, she carried the weight of responsibility for her 2 children, Tom, who was 12, and Lucy, just 8 years old. The small cottage they called home was a testament to their resilience. Faded wallpaper and creaky wooden floors told silent stories of better days. Emma's hands, once soft and smooth, were now rough from endless hours of work and worry. Her once bright eyes now carried a tired determination that spoke volumes about her strength. Every morning began the same way. Before the town fully awakened, Emma would rise, her body aching from the previous day's struggles. She would prepare a simple breakfast, sometimes just toast and weak tea, making sure Tom and Lucy had something warm in their stomachs. Her children never complained, understanding the silent sacrifice behind each carefully portioned meal. The factory where Emma had worked for years had closed suddenly, leaving her and dozens of other workers without a steady income. Unemployment was a cruel companion, whispering constant fears about how they would survive. Bills piled up like unwelcome guests: electricity, water, medical expenses from her husband's final treatments. Each envelope was a reminder of their fragile financial situation. Tom had become more than just a son, he was her unexpected pillar of support. Despite his young age, he understood the family's challenges. After school, he would help neighbors with small tasks, carrying groceries, sweeping driveways, anything that might earn a few extra pounds. Lucy, too young to work, contributed in her own way by being exceptionally helpful at home, keeping things tidy and offering her mother endless hugs of comfort. The winter was approaching, and with it came the additional worry of heating their small cottage. Emma would carefully ration their coal, ensuring they stayed just warm enough to survive. She would layer extra blankets on the children's beds, her maternal instinct fighting against the cold that seemed to seep through every crack and corner. Nights were the hardest. After tucking the children into bed, Emma would sit by the dim lamplight, calculating and recalculating their limited resources. Her notebook was filled with careful calculations, potential job opportunities, and desperate plans to keep their small family afloat. Sometimes, silent tears would fall, not from despair, but from a deep well of determination. The local community seemed both distant and close. Neighbors would offer occasional help: a basket of vegetables, a few kind words, a sympathetic glance. But Emma was proud. She didn't want pity, she wanted opportunity. Her education had been limited, but her spirit was anything but small. Tom watched his mother with a mixture of admiration and concern. He had overheard conversations about potential eviction, about mounting medical bills, about the constant struggle to make ends meet. But he never let his mother see his worry. Instead, he would tell jokes at dinner, help with dishes, and try to bring light into their challenging world. Lucy, too young to fully understand their financial struggles, brought joy to their difficult days. Her innocent laughter would sometimes break through the tension, reminding Emma why she fought so hard. Her drawings, colorful and hopeful, would be displayed proudly on their refrigerator, a stark contrast to their gray reality. As another cold morning approached, Emma looked at her sleeping children. Their peaceful faces were a reminder of why she would continue to fight. She didn't know exactly how, but she knew something would change. Opportunity always found those who remained ready, who kept hope alive even in the darkest moments. The town was slowly awakening. Distant factory whistles, early morning traffic, the occasional dog bark. Manchester was coming to life. And so was Emma's determination. Today might be the day something changed. Today might be the beginning of their journey towards something better. She touched a small photograph of her late husband, whispered a quiet prayer, and prepared to face another day. The struggle was real, but so was her love. And love, she believed, could move mountains. The E&D, the community center, stood like a beacon of possibility on Manchester's old industrial street. Its faded brick walls had witnessed countless stories of struggle and transformation. On a crisp autumn morning, Emma Wilson saw a small poster announcing free job training programs. Her heart raced with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. With trembling hands, she prepared herself for the workshop. Her best blue dress, slightly worn but carefully pressed, represented her determination. Tom helped her iron the dress the night before, his young hands carefully moving the iron while Lucy watched with admiration. The training room was filled with people from different backgrounds, some younger, some older, all sharing the same desperate hope for a better future. Richard Thompson, the program coordinator, was a kind-faced man in his 50s with gentle eyes that seemed to understand everyone's struggles. "Each of you has potential," Richard announced, scanning the room. When his eyes met Emma's, he saw something special, a quiet strength that refused to be defeated. The morning workshop focused on basic computer skills, resume writing, and job search strategies. Emma had never used a computer before. Her fingers felt clumsy on the keyboard, but her determination was stronger than her fear. Richard noticed her struggle and approached quietly, offering patient guidance. He showed her how to type, how to create a document, how to search for job opportunities. During the lunch break, Emma sat quietly in the corner. Her packed sandwich, carefully prepared by Tom, was simple but nutritious. Other participants chatted and shared their stories. A woman in her 40s talked about redundancy, a young man discussed his recent job loss, and Emma listened, realizing she wasn't alone in her struggle. Richard approached her table. "You're doing well," he said softly. "Have you considered administrative work?" Emma explained her limited education, her years of factory work, her fears of not being good enough. Richard listened carefully, seeing potential where Emma saw limitations. "The school near your neighborhood needs part-time administrative support," he suggested. "Would you be interested in preparing for an application?" Those words felt like a lifeline thrown to someone drowning. That evening, Emma returned home with new hope. Tom and Lucy listened intently as she explained the workshop. Her excitement was infectious. Tom helped her practice typing, creating silly stories that made Lucy laugh. For the first time in months, their cottage felt lighter, filled with possibility. Richard had given Emma more than just job training. He had restored her confidence. He had shown her that her age, her past struggles, her limited education were not barriers but opportunities for growth. He represented the community's compassion, a reminder that people could genuinely help each other. Over the next weeks, Emma practiced computer skills every evening. Tom would help Lucy with her homework while watching his mother type carefully, her tongue slightly sticking out in concentration. They created a ritual of learning, of hope, of moving forward together. The job market was challenging. Rejection letters arrived frequently. But Emma was different now. Each rejection became a learning opportunity. She refined her resume, practiced interview skills, remained persistent. Richard's workshops had taught her that resilience was a skill more valuable than any single job. Lucy would draw pictures of her mother working on the computer, her childish drawings showing Emma as a superhero with a keyboard. Tom would encourage her, sharing stories of people who succeeded after multiple attempts. Their support became her strongest motivation. As winter approached, Emma's hope grew stronger. The community center had become more than a training space, it was a symbol of transformation. Richard's kindness had shown her that compassion could change lives, that one person's belief could restart another's journey. Her worn hands now moved confidently across the keyboard. Her tired eyes now sparkled with determination. The woman who had entered the workshop feeling defeated was slowly transforming into a confident professional ready to reclaim her life. Something was changing. Opportunity was knocking. And Emma Wilson was ready to answer. The the school's administrative office buzzed with morning activity when Emma walked in for her first day. Her navy blue dress, carefully chosen from a small thrift store, represented her newfound hope. Margaret Collins, the senior administrative assistant, looked up with a welcoming smile. "Welcome, Emma," Margaret said, showing her the desk and computer. Emma's hands, once calloused from factory work, now moved carefully across the keyboard. Each click represented a step towards a new life. The school was a primary institution in Manchester, filled with the sounds of children's laughter and the constant movement of teachers and staff. Emma's job involved managing paperwork, answering phones, and supporting the school's daily operations. Her previous experiences had prepared her more than she realized. Tom had started his own small business, lawn mowing for neighborhood residents. At just 12, he displayed an entrepreneurial spirit that surprised everyone. Elderly neighbors appreciated his careful work and reasonable prices. Every pound he earned became a small victory for their family. Lucy discovered her passion for baking. What started as simple cookies for their neighbors transformed into a small weekend project. Her chocolate chip cookies became a local sensation. Neighbors would stop her mother and request her daughter's special treats. Emma's work at the school wasn't just a job. It was a lifeline. Her organizational skills, developed through years of managing a challenging household, made her exceptional. The headmaster began noticing her efficiency and dedication. Margaret became more than a colleague, she became a mentor and friend. She shared lunch breaks with Emma, offering advice about career growth and sharing stories about her own challenging journey. Their friendship represented the unexpected support systems that emerge in difficult times. The winter was harsh, but their home felt warmer. Emma's salary, though modest, brought stability. Tom's lawn mowing business expanded. Lucy's baking skills improved. They were no longer just surviving, they were building something special. One afternoon, the school headmaster called Emma into his office. Her heart raced, wondering if something was wrong. Instead, he offered her unexpected news. "Your work has been exceptional," he said. "We want to offer you additional responsibilities." The additional responsibilities meant a slight increase in pay and more opportunities for professional growth. Emma's eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of profound gratitude. Her children's hard work, her persistence, the community's support, everything was coming together. Tom continued expanding his lawn mowing service. He learned basic accounting, created simple business cards, and developed a reputation for reliability. Neighbors began recommending him to others, his small business growing organically. Lucy's baking became more sophisticated. Margaret helped her understand basic pricing and presentation. Weekend markets became her showcase, with people specifically seeking her chocolate chip cookies. Her confidence grew with each successful sale. The family's transformation wasn't just financial. They had discovered resilience, creativity, and the power of supporting each other. Their small cottage, once a symbol of struggle, now represented hope and possibility. Emma reflected on their journey during quiet moments. The loss of her husband, the factory closure, the financial uncertainty, all seemed like distant memories now. They had not just survived, they had created opportunities where none seemed possible. The school became Emma's second home. Her colleagues respected her dedication. The children's laughter, the constant movement, the sense of purpose all filled a void that had existed since her husband's passing. As spring approached, their life looked dramatically different. Tom's business grew, Lucy's baking became a local attraction, and Emma's career at the school continued to progress. They were a testament to the power of determination, love, and community support. Their story wasn't about extraordinary circumstances. It was about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. It was about hope, resilience, and the unexpected paths life can offer when you refuse to give up. The morning sun painted Manchester's streets with soft golden light as Emma stepped into the school's administrative office. Her confidence had grown significantly over the past months, transforming her from a hesitant worker to a reliable professional. The headmaster, Mr. Peterson, called her into his office one quiet afternoon. Emma's heart raced, remembering previous moments of uncertainty. But this time, anticipation replaced fear. "Your work has been exceptional," Mr. Peterson said, sliding an official letter across his desk. "We want to offer you a full-time position with a significant salary increase." The words felt like a dream. A steady job with benefits meant stability for her family. Tom's lawn mowing business had become more than a simple neighborhood service. He had developed a small client list, created basic business cards, and learned fundamental accounting skills. Elderly residents and busy professionals appreciated his reliability and reasonable prices. Every weekend, Tom would carefully plan his work schedule. He purchased a second-hand lawnmower with money he had saved, expanding his small enterprise. Neighbors began recommending him, and his reputation grew steadily. Lucy's baking had transformed from a simple hobby to a small local business. Her chocolate chip cookies became famous in their community. Local cafes started requesting her special recipes, impressed by her creativity and consistency. With Emma's new position, the family's financial situation improved dramatically. They could now afford better clothing, occasional treats, and most importantly, hope for the future. Their small cottage, once a symbol of struggle, now represented possibility and potential. Margaret, Emma's colleague, became a crucial mentor and friend. She helped Emma navigate workplace challenges, offering advice about professional development and sharing her own life experiences. Their friendship represented the unexpected support systems that emerge in difficult times. Tom began saving money, understanding the importance of financial planning. He opened a small savings account, learning about interest and long-term financial goals. His entrepreneurial spirit continued to grow, inspired by his mother's resilience. Lucy's baking skills developed rapidly. Margaret helped her understand basic business concepts, teaching her about pricing, presentation, and customer service. Weekend markets became her showcase, with people specifically seeking her unique treats. The family's transformation wasn't just financial. They had discovered resilience, creativity, and the power of supporting each other. Their challenges had become stepping stones to success, not barriers. Emma's work at the school involved managing complex administrative tasks. Her organizational skills, developed through years of managing a challenging household, made her exceptional. Colleagues respected her dedication and efficiency. Tom expanded his lawn mowing service, creating a small logbook to track clients and earnings. He learned about basic marketing, creating simple flyers and developing a reputation for reliability. His confidence grew with each successful job. Lucy began experimenting with new recipes, turning her weekend baking into a small but consistent income stream. She learned about ingredient costs, pricing, and customer preferences. Her passion for baking became a genuine skill. Their community noticed their transformation. Neighbors who once viewed them with pity now looked at them with respect and admiration. Emma, Tom, and Lucy had become a symbol of hope, showing that determination could overcome significant challenges. The family's evening meals became moments of shared dreams and plans. They would discuss Tom's business ideas, Lucy's baking experiments, and Emma's work achievements. Their conversations were filled with laughter, hope, and mutual support. As summer approached, their life looked dramatically different from the struggling days of the past. They were no longer just surviving, they were building a future. Each challenge had become an opportunity, each struggle a learning experience. Their story wasn't about extraordinary circumstances. It was about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. It was about hope, resilience, and the unexpected paths life can offer when you refuse to give up. Emma looked at her children during dinner, her heart full of love and pride. They had done more than survive, they had thrived. The summer morning arrived with unprecedented brightness, as if Manchester itself was celebrating Emma Wilson's journey. Sunlight streamed through their cottage windows, illuminating a home transformed by hope and hard work. Tom stood proudly, holding a scholarship letter from the local technical college. His lawn mowing business had not only supported the family but had also demonstrated his entrepreneurial skills. Academic advisors recognized his potential, offering him a scholarship that would change his future. Lucy's baking had evolved from a simple hobby to a genuine small business. Local cafes now regularly ordered her signature chocolate chip cookies. Her weekend market stall attracted customers who appreciated her consistency and creativity. At just 10 years old, she was learning valuable business skills. Emma's promotion at the school had brought more than financial stability. She had become a respected administrative manager, her efficiency and dedication recognized by colleagues and school leadership. Her journey from a struggling widow to a confident professional inspired many in their community. The family gathered around their kitchen table, a place that had witnessed their most challenging moments. Now, it was a symbol of their collective triumph. Tom shared details about his scholarship, Lucy discussed her latest baking experiments, and Emma listened with tears of pride. Their small cottage, once a symbol of struggle, now represented possibility. Freshly painted walls, carefully maintained garden, and small improvements told a story of transformation. Every corner held memories of their challenging journey and subsequent success. Richard Thompson, the community center coordinator who had initially helped Emma, visited them that afternoon. He marveled at their transformation, seeing how his initial support had helped them rebuild their lives. His eyes reflected genuine joy at their success. Margaret, Emma's colleague and mentor, brought a special cake to celebrate Tom's scholarship. Her continued support had been instrumental in Emma's professional growth. The bond between them represented the power of workplace mentorship and genuine friendship. Tom's scholarship meant he could pursue technical education, potentially becoming the first in their family to attend college. His lawn mowing business had taught him valuable entrepreneurial skills, and now academic opportunities were opening for him. Lucy's baking skills continued to improve. She started experimenting with new recipes, understanding ingredient costs, and learning basic business management. Her passion was turning into a potential long-term career opportunity. Emma reflected on their journey during quiet moments. The loss of her husband, the factory closure, the financial uncertainty, all seemed like distant memories now. They had not just survived, they had created opportunities where none seemed possible. Their community viewed them differently now. Neighbors who once pitted them now respected their determination. Emma, Tom, and Lucy had become a symbol of hope, demonstrating that resilience and hard work could overcome significant challenges. The local newspaper even featured their story, highlighting their transformation from struggling family to successful individuals. Their journey became an inspiration for other families facing similar challenges. Financial stability allowed them small luxuries they had previously only dreamed about. Occasional family dinners, better clothing, and the ability to save for future opportunities became the new normal. Tom began talking about expanding his lawn mowing business, potentially hiring local students during summer breaks. Lucy continued developing her baking skills, dreaming of potentially opening a small bakery one day. Emma supported their dreams, providing guidance and encouragement. Their evening conversations became filled with laughter, dreams, and mutual support. They discussed future plans, celebrated small victories, and continued supporting each other through challenges. As the summer day concluded, Emma looked at her children with overwhelming love and pride. They had done more than survive, they had transformed their lives through determination, creativity, and unwavering family support. Their story wasn't about extraordinary circumstances. It was about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. It was about hope, resilience, and the unexpected paths life can offer when you refuse to give up. The Wilson family had not just rebuilt their life. They had created a legacy of hope, showing that with love, support, and hard work, any challenge could be overcome. The end.